Welcome back to Siege of Central New York, live from the Kennedy Arena here in beautiful Rome, New York. I am Beautiful Banshee.
And I am Giraffic Jam.
And we are here to discuss the upcoming pairing of Antwerp Roller Derby, the One Love Roller Dolls, and Brewcity Bruisers Roller Derby's All-Stars. Let's meet Antwerp Roller Derby's One Love Roller Dolls, currently ranked 101 in the Wftda. They'll be wearing pink today. Their skaters are 07, Cherry Moshpit, who's also the captain, 10, Majin Buu, 13, Evil X, 2, Freckles, 250, Knick Mops, 357, Dark Pistol, 50, Snow Black, 85, CC Titmouse, 85, Hip Shot, 9, Hunter, 91, Lieutenant Savage, and 93, Dr. G. They're coached by All Anchors and Queen Yosine.
And over in black, we have the Brewcity Bruisers from Milwaukee. We have 025 Pika Zoom, 1015 Baroness of Bash, 13 Mary Death, 22 Latina Heat, 2523 Envy Hertz, 26 Germs, 350 The Other White Meat, 357 Cali Mama, 42 Havoc, 47 AK, number 5 Skittle, the team captain, 56 Frau Kapow, 614 Karma Suture, 8008 Sexual Innuendo, 85 Scully Wheeler, and coaches is Tilo and Danger.
Yes, so about to get started. So, of course, in black, Brewcity Bruisers, in pink, Antwerp Roller Derby's One Love Roller Dolls. And jammers of note to get us started, Hip Shot number 89 for One Love versus 125. And I'm looking at the wrong list.
025.
025.
Pika Zoom.
Pika Zoom. Okay, thank you.
And Pika Zoom has lived up to her name. She gets right through, grabs lead jammer. We have Hip Shot not too far behind her.
Pack picking up a great deal of speed as it moves into turn 4. And they are hoping to wear out their opposition. So we'll see, because Pika Zoom keeping up pretty well. Jam is called. Let's see if any points came out of that. Oh, yes, we're getting the bullhorns. 2 points for Brewcity, drawing first blood, to 0 for One Love.
Now we're coming up with 42 Havoc skating for Brewcity and 13 Evil X skating for Antwerp.
We're seeing the blocker lines taking a little space at least to get things started, then get it nice and close. Antwerp taking the front, looking to slow it down. Evil X right around the outside, a lead about 7 seconds in, but not far behind. That's Havoc. In the back stretch, we have some chaos being caused by number 357, Dark Pistol of Antwerp.
If these first two jams are any indicator, both of these teams are really comfortable with speed. These packs are moving very quickly, and the jammers are keeping right up.
And, of course, first lead change of the game, 3 points for Antwerp, placing them atop the scoreboard 3-2. Sexual Innuendo, 8008 for Brewcity.
I'm so glad she's a jammer, so we can keep saying that name.
Yes.
And we have Hip Shot jamming for Antwerp.
Okay, and so far, One Love able to keep things slow on Sexual Innuendo. Lead acquired by Hip Shot. And so we're seeing lots of line work being done by blockers as the pack speeds up into turn 2. And we have a star pass for Brewcity. So pivot number 56, I believe, Frau Kapow taking the star, though it never made it onto her helmet. That happens sometimes.
Yeah.
So we have a total of 7 points on the score for Antwerp as they picked up 4 unanswered. Brewcity at 2.
Evil X is up again for Antwerp, and we have Scully Wheeler jamming for Brew City. Evil X got right through that pack, has lead jammer for Antwerp.
Okay, hearing all of the loud noises out there, so lots of communication in the pack as it stretches out, coming around jammers, passing the pivot line, 4 points for Evil X. Now, in the pack, we saw a little bit of a fight from Brew City to get to the front, but everyone's just all mixed up again.
Yeah, when both jammers are close together, each wall wants to be near the front because strategically it means it's harder for the jammer to score if you're further away from them. So that's why you see these situations where the pack is rushing forward and the jammers are just trying to catch up.
And saving your point is essential.
Yes.
Yes. So those 7 points put Antwerp to 14 to Brew City's 2. And I know just with some of the hits we've seen so far, I've been going, ow. Okay, I need to get back to scrimmage. Okay, so hip shot, a familiar favorite from One Love, does get lead against Pikazoom. And there is a 4-3 pack advantage at current for One Love. Appears a forearm call, though, on their pivot, so it'll even out as there's one blocker in the box for Brew City standing. And I was just taking a quick look because we have some fabulous officials out there on track, which we would, of course, like to thank. Currently, we have our NSOs, John Brawls, Dodge Charger, Fatal Exception, WEB Destroys, Stabby McNeedles, Ms. Hyde, Drop Dead Gorgon, Influenza, Kinky Linky, and yours truly. And I'll let you know about our skating officials shortly, but back to the jam in progress. Havoc wearing the star for Brew City, and if you are just joining us, Brew City in black. One Love from Antwerp in pink. That's Evil X with the star, but lead going to Brew City.
This is Brew City first lead jam in quite a few jams. This is kind of their chance to score some points and even it up.
And this is the first lead since the very first jam for Brew City. And thanks for that fun fact from our producer, A Load of Sarcasm. Happens to be our tournament head announcer here at Siege of Central New York, which is a WFTDA recognized tournament. I'll be sure to let you know about the recognized tournament program shortly, but let's see what's going on. Oh, everyone's enjoying that nice little 30-second pause in between jams to regroup. There we have it.
And we have Hip Shot jamming for One Love and Sexual Innuendo jamming for the Brew City All-Stars.
Lead picked up by Antwerp. Star stashed by Sexual Innuendo, who is currently fighting in the end of the pack, the back, up against a tripod from One Love, stringing back, caused by 07 Cherry Mosh Pit. 4 points up for Hip Shot.
And Sexual Innuendo was almost out of the pack, but she gets hit out of bounds, has to regroup. She does finish her initial, but just as the jam ends.
And so what we've noticed so far, regarding jammers, it seems that Brew City is taking a broader approach with their jammer stable, where we're noticing One Love has utilized 2, maybe 3 jammers. Oh, a total of 4.
Yeah, every team approaches it in a different way. Sometimes you have just 2 or 3 really good jammers that you can rely on. Sometimes they like to vary their approach a little more often, give everyone the time to recover and breathe between every time they go out jamming.
Right. And so you have some folks who are like, yeah, I'll jam all day, every day. So that's what it looks like for One Love. But 4 for Brew City, which does allow them to take a nice breath.
Yeah.
I know, it's always good. Even blocking, depending upon the intensity. Well, we're seeing some love for One Love roller dolls from Pruismans in the Twitch TV chat, which being brought to you live for a low, low price of free by the New England Roller Derby Report. So definitely make sure that you subscribe to their channel. And if you are on Amazon Prime, if you did not know this, you can subscribe to their channel at no cost if you haven't subscribed to any others using your Prime membership. Okay.
And we do have our eye on the chat here, so if you have questions about what's going on or you just want to say hi, leave a comment. We'll talk to you.
But especially Chad and Lana.
Yes.
They will be the ones responding, but we might pitch in a few things on here. Okay, things are back in order. It looks like a new jammer added to the mix for Brewcity. Scully Wheeler up against Evil-X of One Love. And here we go, the speed game. And lead for Scully Wheeler of Brewcity.
And once again, we have a situation. Both jammers are out of the pack coming around for a second pass, so the pack is racing up.
And Scully Wheeler commanding some offense to assist, though I don't see points coming to fruition. Oh, just a single point.
One little point.
For Brewcity.
If the game keeps progressing at this speed with the pack racing this fast, we're going to really find out which team has better endurance.
Yes.
Because by the second half, somebody might start getting tired, and that's going to be a big advantage for the other team.
So fingers crossed nobody gets totally gassed.
Yeah.
Oh, an official timeout. And I know I mentioned earlier that this is a Siege of Central New York 2019. It's a WFTDA recognized tournament. And the recognized tournament program from WFTDA recognizes and supports high-quality WFTDA member-hosted tournaments worldwide. And if you are new to what WFTDA is, that is the Women's Flat Track Derby Association, the governing body of internationally ranked women's roller derby. So as far as events that are coming up, there are several throughout the year, throughout the country, throughout the world. We have Southern Discomfort coming up April 26th to 28th in Columbia, South Carolina. That's hosted by Columbia Roller Derby, followed by K-Town Shakedown in Kalamazoo, Michigan, April 26th to 28th. So busy weekend there for WFTDA recognized tournaments. That's hosted by Kalamazoo Derby Darlings. And Put Up Your Tokes, May 3rd through 5th in Kitchener-Waterloo, Ontario, Canada, hosted by Tri-City Roller Derby. I do believe that's the Apex's neck of the woods. So, hey, Apex. But definitely check those out. And if you'd like the full schedule of this year's WFTDA recognized tournaments, please visit WFTDA.com/events, and you can find all of the information right there. So I was walking around our vendor village traffic, and I have to say, it's pretty excited. We have 808 Roller Skate in the house, and I just wanted to give them a quick shout out, because Hijinks is a skater who has traveled the world, basically spreading the good word, not only of roller derby, but also skate maintenance. And 808rollerskate.com, they're also on Facebook, so definitely send them some love. But we have returned to gameplay, a high block assist to number 91, Lieutenant Savage on Antwerp.
We have Hip Shot jamming for Antwerp, and I see some Hip Shot fans on the Twitch chat. And we have Pikazoom jamming for Brewcity.
Okay, so we have a little one-on-one blocker dance with the jammer happening in the backstretch, and then One Love recycles. But we're seeing a swarm of offense coming from Brewcity. We'll see if they're able to detain One Love's pivot. Looks like some fun and games happening right there. Perfect view for us in turn 3.
Pikazoom has finished her initial pass by stashing the star. She's coming back around, and so Antwerp calls it off. Now we have Evil-X jamming for One Love, and Havoc jamming again for Brewcity.
Evil-X has been skating for 8 years. She played with Oslo Roller Derby for 6 months. And we were provided with this excellent fun fact from her team. She really likes roller derby.
Oh,
Like,
I'm
really.
surprised.
Yeah, so much that lead is to her credit. We were joking about this. She's like, she really likes roller derby.
Huh. I wonder
Wow.
what that's like.
I know. I mean,
Can't imagine.
It's nice to know we have that in common.
Yes.
4 points up for Evil X at Jam's End. That takes One Love to 36 points over Brewcity 7. And we are just over 10 minutes into the game. So it's gone by rather quickly, I think.
Yeah, and kind of low scores so far. There haven't been any really huge breakaway jams where one person scores a million points.
Well, that's just it. I think 8 points is maybe the max scoring jam, yeah. And that was courtesy of Hip Shot in jam number 7.
And speaking of Hip Shot, she's out there jamming once again against Sexual Innuendo. Hip Shot has lead. She's coming around for her first scoring pass.
Up, Sexual Innuendo ends up hitting the floor but pops right back up in turn 1. And now is cycled to the mid-back stretch by One Love's blockers. Oh, and she's able to exit the pack. And on a scoring pass, Hip Shot comes around, calls it from the floor, seeing Sexual Innuendo coming on up, and prevents any additional points being scored, aside from those 2 for herself.
Yeah, that was a good hit by AK, Brewcity's pivot, knocking Hip Shot to the out and forcing her to call it off.
So, I'm sorry, Giraffe. I just started laughing because I read in the chat, Brewcity Bruisers, beer, beer, beer. Okay, I think that's your thing.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's the official cheer. If so, that's awesome. Oh, Antwerp roller derby, also beer.
Oh, that was a fun fact about one of the skaters,
Yes.
that they like beer.
Yes, someone is
That was
passionate.
Snow Black, passionate about beer.
Passionate about beer.
So these teams have something in common.
Yes, they do. They really like roller derby and they really like beer.
The 2 best things in
Yes.
life.
And speaking of best things, lead achieved by number 95 on Brewcity. That would be Scully Wheeler. I'm sorry, 85. That is the 4th lead for Brewcity. And I believe that's the 2nd time we've seen Scully Wheeler out there with the star, perhaps 3 times. Well, 3rd time was the charm. And a especially tough jam because each team put up 1 point, but that speaks to their defensive efforts as well.
Yeah, it's very hard to score points when your points are skating away from you.
Yes.
Peek-a-Zoom is up again for Brewcity, and Hip Shot once again for One Love.
Hard press coming from a brace 2 wall on Peek-a-Zoom in the back of the pack. One Love working to do that. Let's see, she splits them though. Oh, and we have a little bit of offense. Hip Shot coming back roundly to her credit. Oh, and a little hippity hop over the turn 2 apex. That's how she gets the 4 points. And Peek-a-Zoom still working to push through the pack, but number 91, Lieutenant Savage, putting in work. Able to burn the clock down a bit on Peek-a-Zoom. An 8-point jam for One Love Roller Dolls. That brings them to 51 over Brewcity's 8.
And in the chat, Hamfather says some old school derby happening, and you're absolutely right. It's been a long time since I've seen derby played at this high speed. It's really unusual that both teams are really excelling at this type of derby.
And Sedusa Medusa too. Slow them down. Come on, BCB. And that's just it. You know, a lot of folks, they're so used to the cap and contain. But, you know, catch them off guard, amp up the speed, and one never knows what might happen.
Yeah, when walls are skating quickly, that's when they tend to fall apart. And that's, if you can get the walls moving quickly, it's kind of a benefit to your jammer if they're fast enough to take advantage of that mayhem.
Yes, and we have a forearm call on Havoc having a seat for Brewcity. So that means a power jam with lead for Evil X. And we have a static pack at the edge of the back stretch. Evil X hits the wall. Let's see what we have up, and straight up the outside line allows 4 points.
Looks like this is the slowest they've played all bout so far. Everyone's standing still.
Pretty much.
And Antwerp sweeps in, looking to play some offense. It doesn't quite create the opening they were hoping for, but that's okay because Evil X can do it on her own.
Oh, and number 85, CC Titmouse, was able to take Havoc out, but also went out herself, no matter how hard she tried to hold on.
Yeah, I mean,
Those
that was
tiptoes. That was impressive.
Yeah, it was amazing toe stop balance, but on the wrong side of the line.
Exactly. Oh, and going to the lines, that's Havoc. Cycling back a bit, and we have another Brewcity blocker in the box, but currently one standing.
This pack is bridged out pretty far at this point.
Yes, extending all the way from turn 1 to turn 2. 4 points more for Evil X. And a tentative pack as Evil X comes up in the back stretch. Taken down by a Brewcity blocker. Jam has reached its conclusion. That was the highest scoring jam so far in this game. Total of 14 points for Evil X. That takes Antwerp Roller Derby's 1 love to 65 over Brewcity's 8. And we are in the second quarter of our game. And check the replay.
Yeah, that beautiful apex jump.
And that is Havoc showing the skills. And Sexual Innuendo wearing the star for Brewcity up against 89, favorite hip shot. And I say favorite, meaning for 1 love, because she's so frequently used.
Yeah, she goes out there often and she gets lead almost every time she does.
Well, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Exactly.
Okay, 1 love in the front, putting the brakes on between turns 3 and 4.
Yeah.
0 points yielded.
Brewcity did a good job catching that jammer there. She came in pretty hot, but they grabbed her and held her still, which is hard to do when the jammer's got that much speed behind them.
True. And that was the first scoreless jam in the game.
Oh, wow.
Thank you, Wftda.
Yes, Aloda's helping us out with the stats.
Fabulous.
Can't do it without her.
Absolutely not. Oh, team timeout called by Brewcity. And that's the second one that they're using. Sometimes you just need a few seconds to regroup. And just a quick reminder, because we have not 1, but 2 full days of roller derby action, high quality WFTDA sanctioned gameplay live from Rome, New York, here at Siege of Central New York 2019. Up next at 5 p.m., we've got Burning River returning, taking on Jersey Shore. Jersey Shore played against Central New York earlier. Burning River took victory over Green Mountain first thing this morning at 9. And then at 7 p.m., Central New York's All-Stars versus Green Mountain's Grade A Fancy. So that will close out day 1. But still, that's a whole bunch more derby just for today. And then tomorrow, there is a game at 9 a.m., 11 a.m., 1 p.m., 3 p.m., 5 p.m., 7 p.m., and then, of course, the award ceremony. So make sure you're sticking with us.
Now we're back into the action with Evil X jamming for Antwerp and Scully Wheeler jamming for Brewcity.
Evil X up and out. Lead to her credit, a braced 2-wall for Antwerp in the front. That is 357 Dark Pistol.
And it looks like, sorry about that.
It's okay.
Brewcity trapped one of the blockers and kind of held her at the back there so that their jammer would have a smaller wall to contend with.
Oh, yes. That little bitty goat. All right. Coming up in the middle, realizing that there's some push. Evil X calls it. 3 points added. And we were talking prior to the game starting just about some of the background of certain skaters. The thing with Evil X, oh no, not Evil X. Who was I thinking? I started to say, oh, Dark Pistol. A key in the defensive efforts of One Love. She's originally from Texas and had started skating with Texas Roller Girls, then moved to Paris, played with Paris Roller Girls, and now is with Antwerp. So that's really awesome. And in real life, as we like to say, IRL, or, non-derby life, she is a translator/interpreter. So
that's amazing.
Handy skills there.
Yeah, Derby world traveler. All right, and we do have lead. Hip shot has lead for Antwerp.
Her opposition is Zoom, who is out of the pack only about, I would say, a third of the track behind her, but everyone comes together in the pack. Jam is called. We have at least a couple of points, yes, 2 for One Love, taking them to 70 over 8 for Brewcity. And something we just noticed on the stat sheet here, that's 5 scoreless jams for Brewcity. And basically the story that's being told, it's really Antwerp capitalizing on lead in order to control things. Now, Giraffe, as far as I can see, that's Havoc versus Evil X as far as jammers.
And Evil X does have lead for Antwerp. Havoc is out of her initial pass as Evil X comes into the back to start scoring. That was a good booty bump from Karma Suture on Evil X, but it did no good. She still got all 4 points and then called it off.
Okay, getting things set up for Jam 19. Present jammers, hip shot for Antwerp, and sexual innuendo from Brewcity. And I hear that per word of the Twitch chat, that sexual innuendo is also a big lover of the apex jump in addition to Havoc. So good to know.
Yeah, a lot of really bouncy jammers out here. Who
like
needs the floor?
Oh, please. Well, that's the thing with polished concrete. Depending upon your toe stops, the bounce is fun. Oh, and sexual innuendo is cycled back. There was an illegal contact penalty assessed to hip shot, so that means power jam and lead as a result for sexual innuendo. Pat keeping it nice and slow, anxiously awaiting her arrival, and just a gentle, or casual apex jump, should I say, for sexual innuendo.
Also a lot of beautiful toe stop work.
Yes.
She caught her balance on the way out of that pack.
Oh, and something else, too, for Antwerp. That was their first jammer penalty. Second overall penalty in this period.
That is a clean game if you've only got 2 penalties.
Yes, we could all aspire and dream.
Yeah, if only.
Yes.
And if you've been watching us all morning, you've probably heard a lot about this floor, but just in case you've just tuned in, this floor is very slick. There are skaters and refs tripping themselves, even without other skaters involved. So if it seems like a lot of people are falling or going down without reason, that's why. It is very slick, and it's really hard to get any traction.
And we had a question about the illegal contact penalty. Formerly, the hand signal was formerly known as delay of game, but it's really for when there's contact, say like an out-of-play block, that could also fall under it. So just to clarify for you.
It's a little bit of a catch-all term for any contact between 2 blockers that doesn't already have a name for it.
Exactly. Oh, and I forgot to mention, those 5 points in the last jam for Brewcity, that was their highest scoring jam so far. And I'm noticing while we're sitting here, Giraffe, it looks like Chad from New England Roller Derby Report acquired a new sticker on his terminal. It looks like Appalachian Roller Derby.
Nice.
Yeah, there's a sticker there. I like the logo. It's a fun, angry face, but also cartoony.
Yeah,
It's so cute. Oh, there's an Antwerp one up there too. Very nice. And not looking so nice at the moment for Pikazoom because of how much push is required, but Antwerp's raised 2-wall in the back, putting in a lot of work and taking Pikazoom to the outside in turn 1. Lead is picked up by Hipshot.
AK just got back on the track after a penalty, played a little bit of offense for Pikazoom, and it kind of broke her free from where she was stuck. Pikazoom now done with her initial pass.
Star with Stash to enable an easier exit, but it appears jam is called before any points can be accrued by Pikazoom, and just 3 on the last one for One Love. Oh, I'm looking and I'm wondering who asked about illegal contact. That's Ox. Hi, Ox. Sorry, Oxford Coma with Providence.
Oxford
Yes,
Coma,
I
that
was
is
like,
a
wait
good
sec.
name.
Isn't it the greatest?
I love that.
They have a fantastic name and they hit really hard, and I have fun skating with them. But yes, so speaking of fun and skating, all of it is happening before us, and a little bit of an awkward blocker sandwich in turn 1, but it is Evil X who emerges with lead. Meanwhile, we have some spills in turn 1 and a couple of penalties, one for a Brewcity blocker, number 26, that's Germs. Oh no, and it was just one penalty.
That is 4 more for Antwerp, and we can see they're not getting a lot of points in a single jam, but when you're holding your opponent scoreless, you really only have to get 1 or 2 points to keep that lead getting wider and wider.
Yep, and those small gains, it's proven, to be successful because, again, slow and steady wins the race sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have Hip Shot out there again with Sexual Innuendo. Hip Shot is through with lead for One Love. Sexual Innuendo trying to just brute force her way through that wall. She keeps backing up and hitting once again, and she managed to climb through on the outside, but then she gets hit out of bounds, drawn all the way back. That hit was from number 7, Cherry Mosh Pit, hit her out.
And Cherry Mosh Pit, actually one of the founders of Antwerp Roller Derby in 2010.
So clearly a very experienced skater who's been around for a while.
And she is one of the, I believe, 3, possibly 4 skaters from One Love Roller Dolls that has been a member of Team Belgium. Cherry Moshpit's been on Team Belgium since 2014, who has played in the World Cup last year. And in addition, Lieutenant Savage, number 91, also an alum of Team Belgium.
Those are some impressive credentials.
I know. They're all kind of a big deal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Scully Wheeler, the jammer being the big deal at the moment for Brewcity.
Evil X just tried an apex jump, but could not quite land it. It looked so good right until the end.
Well, if at first you don't succeed, try again. We'll see what happens. But I know that Scully Wheeler's not sad about it.
Yeah, Scully Wheeler has lead for Brewcity, something that unfortunately we haven't seen all too often out here.
Oh, and out of the 24 jams thus far in this period, that is Brewcity's 6th lead. So progress on the control piece, or at least an element of controlling the narrative here. So we have a 3-3. Yeah. Oh no, 4-3. It's tough sometimes if the inside pack refs, the jam refs, don't have the little bands on their fingers. I find with some of the gray walls,
yeah,
I struggle with that.
Yeah, those refs are just a little too far away.
Yeah.
Okay, we have Pikazoom zooming through the front. Another lead jam for Brewcity. That's a 2nd lead in a row. Unfortunately, she does not have a lot of advantage. Hip Shot is right behind her. Pikazoom decides it's not worth the fight. She calls it off, does not risk losing any points.
And the best part keeps Hip Shot from getting any more. And that was the first, this particular jam and the jam prior were the first back-to-back jams where Brewcity was able to acquire lead jammer status. So progress for them. Okay, team timeout for Antwerp. And I know Chad just put a shout out there to our friends on Twitch TV. Let us know where you're watching, which area of the country or world where you might be, or which league you're representing. We see Sedusa Medusa with Brewcity Bruisers, so thank you for that. And it's an official review now, and we'll have details on that shortly. One never knows. It does take some time for them to peruse and figure out what's going on.
Yeah, the refs have a lot of consulting to do, make sure everyone saw the same thing, agrees on what reality is.
Yes. As we know, viewpoints may vary.
Yes.
And I know we were talking earlier on when introducing the teams as far as what their current WFTDA rankings are. When looking at Flat Track stats, even though WFTDA rankings as of April 5th, 2019 have Antwerp at 101 and Brewcity at 77. On Flat Track stats, things do show a little differently. Per Flat Track stats, they were at, Antwerp was at 80 and Brewcity was at 85.
Yeah, so these on paper look like two very evenly matched teams. So far, that's not playing out in front of us, but who knows? In the second half, anything could happen.
And the official review is being used as a timeout.
Okay.
Yes, just clarifying. Oh, Havoc looks sad that the jam was called because we all want more derby.
Of course.
It's like, you're going to keep me from the pack. Boo. And a huge thank you to our hosts, Central New York Roller Derby. This is their 4th annual Siege of Central New York, or because they started in 2015. Oh no, technically this is the 5th. Because if you count, yes, I'm sorry. I am talking to Alota. She's looking at me and nodding. Yes, this is the 5th annual Siege of Central New York, and they are fabulous hosts. Thank you so much, Central New York. Lead going to hip shot. And we do have a pivot in the penalty box for Brewcity. So current pack advantage to One Love.
And it looks like Snow Black managed to hit Sexual Innuendo to the out, but it must have been some kind of illegal hit because now she's on her way to the box. Oh, and we have a power jam. Sexual Innuendo cut the track. Now she's sitting in the box. That's a power jam for Antwerp.
Oh, 4 points initially, but oh no, a forearm call.
We're swapping jammers. Both jammers got a penalty, so this is going to be a 2-minute jam. Sexual Innuendo back on the track.
Antwerp's defense at the front of the pack, braced by Cherry Mosh Pit,
Right.
and swept to the inside by Lieutenant Savage.
Hip shot is also back on the track, so once again, we have both jammers. Brewcity's trying to play some offense for Sexual Innuendo. So far, it's not paying off. She's removing the star, going for a stash. Maybe that'll help her get through.
Freckles in the mix, getting right in the way of Sexual Innuendo and her pivot. Number 357, Dark Pistol. There was the attempt to pass the star.
Yeah, it looks like she
I'm
tried
sorry,
to.
not Dark Pistol. Sorry, Kali Mama.
Yes, she tried to pass the star, and in that moment saw a better opportunity, went forward, and held onto the star for herself.
Wise choice. And this is Freckles' first international tournament. So not a bad deal as far as performance. Okay, so we are currently at 116 after the 20-point jam, which is officially now the highest scoring jam in the game, I believe. Yes, for One Love over Brewcity's 18. And we're going to head to halftime. We got a brief intermission. Be back in about 10 minutes or so. I'm Banshee.
I'm Giraffic Jam.
We'll see you soon. Welcome back to Siege of Central New York 2019. We are returning to the second period of Brewcity Bruisers versus Antwerp Roller Derby's One Love Roller Dolls. And wow, the first half has been kind of crazy, but lots of fun. I am Beautiful Banshee.
I am Giraffic Jam.
And we will be waiting to see what exactly is to come between the two teams. Brewcity, they are wearing black, and Antwerp in pink.
I'm curious to see if either teams are going to switch up strategy now that we're coming into the second half. If maybe either of them are going to change up their strategy about how they're going to go about this.
One never knows. That quick reset at halftime can make sure a shift happens.
Yeah, and sometimes as, one team might be getting tired, strategy might change. They might not be playing quite the same, so we'll see how the second half goes.
And starting things off, we do have Zoom jamming for Brewcity, taken out by number 07, Cherry Mosh Pit, and jamming, of course, Hip Shot with lead to her credit. The pack spreading out. We're noticing a trend where even though there might be some speed, everyone's getting rather spread out. So in that backstretch right now, we seem to see some one-on-one blocking happening, but jam is called.
That was a great hit from Skittle. She threw, hip shot to the outside line just as she called it off. Now we have Evil X jamming for One Love Antwerp.
Yes, and number 42, which is, of course, the most important or best answer to most questions per the Hitchhiker's Guide, but that is Havoc. Pack took some space and decided to start at the pivot line, which is not all that unusual now because people like to mix it up. But Evil X making quick work of snagging lead going over the turn 2 apex. And Havoc getting drawn back into turn 1, though going for a little jammer aggression. Evil X was too smart for that. Picks up 4 points. Havoc off to the penalty box. So power jam in favor of Antwerp. Also, we'd like to thank all of our friends who are watching on Twitch TV right now. We saw a whole bunch of folks chime in. There is a large amount of fandom right now from Belgium in Antwerp. So thanks to all of you for tuning in. And of course, we saw folks representing Brewcity and maybe even 1 or 2 from Providence. So thanks again. Also, can't get we definitely have been getting a kick out of the beer, beer, beer chant, and it's right on par with Boston's pinch, pinch, pinch.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
These are some good cheers.
Yes. Oh, and that was a good hit coming from Havoc right into an Antwerp blocker, allowing Havoc to break the pack on the initial. 16 points so far for Antwerp. Make it 20. That's tied for the top scoring jam that happened late in the first period. It's currently One Love Roller Dolls at 135. Brewcity Bruisers 18. We're only 2.5 minutes in to the second period. Also, we may have seen some end of first period comments within the Twitch chat about Antwerp bringing it to the after party because some excellent roller derby as well as all of the good beer.
Oh, yeah.
And kept seeing kapow, kapow. So thank you for letting us know that.
Absolutely. We'll see if they're as good at drinking beer as they are at roller skating.
There is a challenge.
Yeah, something tells me they're going to do a great job at the after party, too.
I think so. And doing a great job right now. Hip Shot securing lead for Antwerp. Tentative pack in the backstretch, of course, due to the power jam scenario as Sexual Innuendo having a seat. Brewcity doing a good job putting the brakes on when we can tell that there was an urge to make things speedy.
Yeah, Antwerp tried to rush in and play offense, but it hasn't really paid off. The pack just kind of got bigger and even harder to get through.
It appears that Brewcity, they have achieved their very first penalty kill of the game as Hip Shot's still behind their defensive wall. As soon as I say that, she escapes. But still, their own jammer was back on the track, if only for a moment. Let's see. Oh, no. And still there. So very good. 4 points for hip shot. And it appeared 0 for sexual innuendo on that. So 139 to 18.
I am a little curious about this new strategy to start on the pivot line, because it seems like the Antwerp jammers really thrive on having that speed and that space, and this is the perfect start for them. I mean, all of these jammers are really good at getting that running start and just zipping right through the wall. Yes,
and of course, if they can, if either team has the opportunity of getting the quote-unquote easy pivot penalty off the line from the opposition, they're going to take it. So it seems both teams were ready.
Yeah.
And Evil X ready for lead. We have one blocker for Brewcity off to the penalty box. That is number 5, Skittle. And again, speed, the name of the game, though blocker's getting dispersed, so we'll see how effective it is.
And unfortunately, Brewcity has a couple of just one blocker in the box now, so they do have at least a 3 wall out on the track.
Yes, thanks for bearing with us on that. Oh, look, we have a replay of a strong hit coming from the pivot on Brewcity. Check that out. A little double punch there on hip shot.
And we have Pika Zoom jamming against hip shot.
Oh, Pika Zoom out and receiving quite the reception. It's because Providence is in the stands. Yes, you can hear us from a mile away. Oh, no, that was the Brewcity bench. I thought it was coming from the stands.
Oh.
Brewcity and their beer, beer, beer. They're just that loud. But that's okay. We like it.
Oh, yeah. Now we have Havoc jamming against Evil X. Once again, starting way up at the pivot line, so those jammers get a running start.
Ooh!
Evil X tries for that apex jump.
And it was the peg assist that she was going for. But if that had, I mean, it was impressive as it was. Never mind if it actually was executed to its full extent.
Yeah, even if it didn't work, it looked great.
It really did. And Havoc shouldering it out, able to pick up 4. Oh, okay. And it does appear there was a cutting penalty as a result of the failed peg assist.
And I hope that you can hear the sound through our microphones,
yes,
because the Brewcity bench is going nuts. The energy levels in this room just like spiked.
I love it. It's so much fun. Okay, Havoc able to push up to the front of the pack, though getting caught up by Majin Buu in turn 1. Oh, and we have Evil X getting cycled back on the track, but does break through on the initial. Jam is called by Havoc. A total of 8 points. So Brewcity Bruisers currently at 27 to 143. Oh, the Pegasus. Let's check that out. Just wow.
Yeah.
It was a handless Pegasus. That in itself is impressive. Though I see, oh no, the hands were there. Oops.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah.
A little too handsy.
Yep.
But you know what?
There's no hands in roller derby.
Do or do not, there is no try.
Yes.
And do that Evil X did. Okay, currently we have a team timeout called by One Love Roller Dolls. Back-to-back leads just happened for Brewcity, and the last jam was the highest scoring jam for Brewcity at 8 points. So big gains on behalf of Brewcity Bruisers. And we're starting to see all the folks file in here at the Kennedy Arena. Oh, hey, it's the Brewcity bench.
That loud, loud cheering section.
Yes, all of the black and gold. And our buddy from the announcer crew, that would be the CAC, a.k.a. Crimson Alchemia, working the cam on the side, so giving us good views of all the things happening right now, even though there's no gameplay at current. Everyone's getting lined up, and we'll be returning to gameplay shortly.
And surprise, surprise, hip shots jamming again, and so is sexual innuendo.
Sexual innuendo, having to get jukey with it, coming around on the inside, really working the seams of the brace 2-wall set before her.
We have 2 jammer sandwiches out there. Both of them looking kind of stuck in these tripods.
Yes.
We do have AK trying to play some offense for sexual innuendo.
Okay, and we have number 91 for Antwerp, Lieutenant Savage, off to the penalty box.
We have a couple of
additional confusion.
blockers off to the box.
Though it appears one sent to the box, though, is standing at their bench. We'll find out more about that in a moment. But currently back in turn 2, I'm just getting confused.
I think she got waved off for having a pivot panty when there was already. Oh no, she's injured.
There's no blood on the track. That's
Yes.
right. So
Yep.
okay. Well, not a major injury, just a little blood.
Yeah.
It happens. And currently at front of Pag doing what she can to hold the Snow Black, wearing the pivot stripe, but not enough to hold that sexual innuendo. Comes crashing right through, just like the Kool-Aid Man.
Ooh. Snow Black playing a lot of offense, just smashing into the Brewcity blockers.
A sweep totally out. Wow, way to clear.
I think these blockers are just enjoying hitting each other at this point.
Well, I mean, hitting your friends is fun. And
Yeah.
making new friends who can hit is even more fun.
Yeah. Who cares where the jammer is? Let's just beat each other up.
Well, to be fair, in the words of Letta Kenny, one has to get the points as well. And thank you. Chad picked that up off mic, and that makes me so happy. Okay, so I do believe that Brewcity just beat their last high-scoring jam, taking in the 12 points. So this is the first time Brewcity has achieved lead 3 times in a row, and the first time that they've scored in 3 consecutive jams. So big gains, and not 12 points, but 16. So 43 points for Brewcity, narrowing Antwerp's lead to 100 points as they sit at 143. Yeah, and the first time that Antwerp has been held scoreless 3 jams in a row.
Yeah, whatever Brewcity's doing differently, it's working for them. It's like they found their stride.
Yeah, perhaps a little beer, beer, beer chant in the locker room at halftime. Who knows?
Yeah.
We know the beer, beer, beer is motivation for the after game, of course.
Absolutely.
Although earlier we were saying for Green Mountain, because they're grade A fancy.
Yes.
My theory about halftime for them, what lit them up? Syrup shots, maple syrup shots.
Oh God.
A little maple syrup chug a la Super Troopers, but you know.
Grade A Fancy is one of my favorite team names. Like, that's commitment.
It
and
really
it's
is.
hysterical.
It
That's
is.
so good.
It's so good. I love it. Okay, so we've got a little bit due to this timeout. And I don't know if you're aware, but we have 808 roller skate in the house here at Siege of Central New York.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm about to blow all my money at 808
Yes.
Roller Skate.
Go visit Hijinks, go spend the money, and don't forget, if you too would like to give your money to 808 Roller Skate in exchange for some great supplies for your roller derby arsenal, be it skates, plates, wheels, all of the things, safety gear, or even cute socks, but they even have things to make your gear smell good. Visit 808rollerskate.com, and you can like their page on Facebook.
They have socks with dinosaurs that are also tacos.
The Dino Taco socks.
Dino tacos.
I do not have those. I have the little love dinos that say raw.
Oh, cute.
But no, I might need Dino Tacos in my life.
yeah, no. Everyone needs
Yes.
Dino Tacos. And we're back into the action. Dino Tacos aside. Evil X jamming against Scully Wheeler. Another fast-moving Pax, which works just fine for Evil X.
Okay, Pack pushing up in the backstretch. Scully Wheeler trying to work it out. A little bit of attempted offense from Latina Heat, though things do get caught up a little, and Evil X gets through once again. Scully Wheeler working against a terrible twosome at the front of the pack, pushing up to the pivot line. And Scully Wheeler able to escape the pack. And right now in the mix, Evil X calling it off. And if you are enjoying the stream right now for the low, low price of free 99, that's FREE 99, as I like to put it. That's right, no cost to you. Don't forget to follow us, because here on Nerd Derby's Twitch channel, that's New England Roller Derby Report, NERDERBY, follow so you can get notifications of when we go live for every game.
And now we have Pikazoom on the track against Hipshot. Hipshot with lead for Antwerp. Pikazoom also, almost throwing her initial pass, then gets hit to the Oh no, she wasn't hit. She got a penalty.
Was it cutting the track penalty?
Okay, so Pikazoom cut the track. Now we have a power jam for Antwerp.
And Hipshot takes a hip shot to the outside and cycled back to turn 2. Brewcity at the front, though the offense from Antwerp quick to attack the Lynx, doing their darndest to get their jammer through. And Brewcity, that's the 3rd jammer penalty that they've given up in the game. Okay, we have a drawback coming from Cherry Mosh Pit and Company. Oh,
Pikazoom just threw herself through that wall.
Seriously, like, I don't want to say head first because she wasn't leading with her head, but just dove right in.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I always think jammers have to be completely fearless because they just, like, dive right into the chaos full speed and just hope they get out alive on the other side.
It's true. The mental game of being able to just to say, hey, I know what I need to do. Just do it. Do, don't think.
Yes.
Or in this case, do or do not. There is no try, in the immortal words of Yoda. Okay, that's our 5-second warning. Number 42, Havoc, back with the star for Brewcity against number 13, Evil X of Antwerp. And Giraffe, something that I have to say regarding Antwerp, their social media game was strong leading up to this event. They are ecstatic to be here, and they kept shouting out all of their fellow teams here at Siege of Central New York 2019 the last couple of weeks, and I just love it. Everyone was so excited, and they're just keeping that momentum going.
It's amazing to see an international team come all the way here for this tournament, but I also just really love their uniforms. Like,
Yes.
You see that shade of pink, and you just have to smile.
Yes. And I love it because they actually have, looks like a skyline from their city on the jersey. That's the part that I enjoy most.
Yeah, that's cute.
Yeah.
Okay, we have number 89, Hipshot, jamming against 8008, Sexual Innuendo.
And Innuendo cycled back by Cherry Mosh Pit. Yeah.
Oh, she kind of tried an apex jump. Didn't get very far.
We're seeing some radar tracking on Sexual Innuendo by Antwerp's blockers. But Innuendo able to get around the outside in the straightaway. Jam is called before any points go up for Brewcity, but 4 for One Love Roller Dolls, taking them to 163 over 47. And it is official. We are 3/4 of the way through the game.
There's a cool fact down there.
Oh, the skyline on
Oh.
their jerseys is the cathedral and some famous buildings
Oh,
from
awesome.
Antwerp.
And thank you for that, Peggy Stardust. Also, Knick Mops does most of the social media, and she's amazing. According to Hiver, I'm not sure what the full name is, but it's Hiver in L, maybe, in 4L. Thank you for that. And I'm not surprised because I hear that Knick Mops is a delight or an absolute treasure, as quoted a load of sarcasm. Let's see, everyone going full speed ahead. Jam is called. A single point for Brewcity to 3 for One Love, 166 to 48. Starting off lucky jam number 13 of the second period. That would be Zoom and Hip Shot, the familiar pairing. And full complement of blockers out before us.
Zoom gets hit right to the out by Cherry Mosh Pit off the line. Hip Shot has lead. Zoom also out of her initial pass. The blockers are doing their thing, trying to fight for the best position on the track.
I'm seeing a battle between Lieutenant Savage, and I couldn't catch who it was. There was someone right in the center of the pack, backwards blocking. Actually, I think that was Mary Death, to be specific, number 13. They were definitely doing that dance.
And now we have Evil X going up against Havoc. And number 85, CC Titmouse, ready to play offense immediately off the line.
And it's effective. Evil X already through, though there is a penalty assessed to Havoc. It was a forearm, so Power Jam at this point in the game is really just putting icing on the cake for Antwerp. And it was brought to my attention that if we look at Brewcity's uniforms, they also have a skyline of Milwaukee on them. So thanks for that. What is this? Someone's talking about lobster waffles. Chad.
I think everyone's getting hungry.
Havoc is in the box, yes. Oh, no longer. I just saw, I bet if we had lobster waffles, those would be good. It's totally Chad's fault because he put it in the chat and it's right in front of my face, so I'm going back and forth between the chat and the game. And somehow that came up, but yes, that does sound delicious. Just no, it would have to be the savory waffle, yes. Sorry, food. Okay, but also Derby. Havoc is back, though just finished the initial. At least 12 points. Let's see if that jumps to 16. That is correct, 16 for Antwerp. So it takes them to 185 over 48. Just over 11 minutes remain in the game as we head into Jam 15. And for those who can't hear him, Chad is singing lobster waffles, or lobster waffles off the mic.
Hip Shot just runs right past that wall, makes it look easy. She has lead jam up against Sexual Innuendo once again, who's also through on her initial jam.
Okay, I heard something really interesting from our buddies in the chat. Evil X's real name, Santipsy. I think I'm saying it correctly. If not, I apologize. But that's Dutch for drinking shots from breakfast till evening, according to someone on there. I think you're pulling my leg and just seeing if I would say it on the broadcast, but there you have it. It got done.
Yeah, you've succeeded. Who else wants to make up lies and get on the broadcast?
I mean, that's not the worst lie ever. I have no problem spreading that rumor. It's kind of awesome. Oh, well, you know, if roller derby's not fun, then there's no point. So here we have it, whether you're on the track or not. So Scully Wheeler, wearing the star for Brewcity, And that is against the one, the only Xantipsy, Evil X.
Yeah, doing a beautiful apex jump. It looked like she almost got knocked out of the air, but she did manage to land it. Yeah.
Ooh.
Pablo Skater is going down over there.
And jam is called as Evil X does hit the infield floor. 3 points up for One Love. And we have a replay on that hit.
Boom.
Ooh. A little bit of getting caught up in each other. Sometimes that happens.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, more often than not. But that is what happens when you have to try and find your way through and create an opening in the pack. Pika-Zoom versus Hip Shots. And if you are coming in late in the game, Brewcity Bruisers in black. Antwerp's One Love Roller Dolls in pink. And currently holding Pika-Zoom to the back of the pack.
Just so much side to side to side until that wall fell apart. Pika-Zoom got through, but she's not lead.
The lateral motion is key.
Ooh, our jammers are fighting over here. It's always exciting when that happens.
Yes, a little bit of shoulder aggression. I like it.
Yeah, now Pika-Zoom managed to pass her despite not being lead. So, of course, the safe thing to do is call it off.
Not too shabby. And did you know that the longest streak for lead jammer for Antwerp right now is 7, and that included this prior jam. We'll see if that turns around at all, because I know how much Brewcity likes putting an end to that. Oh, check that out. There we have it. And we were talking about the test of endurance with the speed earlier in the game, and I think both teams are proving that they are up for it.
Yeah, I don't think they'd be playing this fast if they weren't both very comfortable with it.
Exactly. Well, even with Pika-Zoom there working it in that last replay, just the energy.
Yeah.
I don't know where she's getting it, but that's awesome.
Yeah, that burst speed of just always being able to kick it up a notch, go a little faster, a little faster.
The explosive power is real and is strong in that one. Okay, 4 points for Evil X. 196 for One Love Roller Dolls, 48 Brewcity Bruisers.
And hip shot out once again with sexual innuendo. This time starting further back.
Innuendo does get around on the outside, does get popped out, though had managed to hang in on one toe stop. I was impressed. And coming up the inside, but first out with lead hip shot. And a small pile up in turn 1. Backstretch pack getting spread out. We'll see how the blockers are able to regroup. I think too far spread apart, so that allowed hip shot to get through easily and call it. We didn't get to the interesting info about Connect Mops, and I'll tell you in a second, but just coming through that pack, check that out. That hit from number 250, who is Connect Mops, of course. Someone in the chat mentioned about an invention that might be boring, well, or the fact might be boring, but it is not. Connect Mops, named after a small bulldozer that was developed by her father and her uncle in a barn. That's pretty rad. Also, Connect Mops announced at the last World Cup. We are trying to get her on our announcer roster this weekend. So Connect Mops also seems to be the know-it-all in the best possible way about everybody on One Love, because she hooked us up with so much information. So big shout out to Connect Mops.
And that was a great jam for Brewcity, one of their first leads in quite a few jams, and she did get 3 points.
One Love Roller Dolls sitting at 251 for Brewcity.
Yeah, you're not going insane. It's real.
And that was the first score for Brewcity in 8 jams. I know you said many, but Eloda confirmed just how many.
Yes, many
Yes.
is 8 in this case.
Oh!
Wow, Peekazoo manages to stay in bounds. A second lead jam for Brewcity, and you can hear their bench going wild.
Well, we have a forearm call. Let's see who that's for.
Peekazoo is about to pass a hip shot. Oh, and she calls it.
Okay. So we do have a Brewcity blocker in the box. They picked up a forearm. And looks like One Love hanging out at their bench for a moment. But I don't see a timeout yet. Oh, there we have it.
Yep.
You know, every once in a while I just need a breather. And I know we talked about it earlier about the WFTDA Recognized Tournament Program. We have not just the WFTDA Recognized Tournaments, but there are playoffs happening as well, but I'll get to that in a bit. Now, as far as the WFTDA Recognized Tournaments, of course, the point is to recognize and support high-quality WFTDA member-hosted tournaments worldwide. And of course, this allows for various tournament structures. Some are invitational, some are brackets. And let's see, One Love getting pumped up about who are they? They are One Love. I know I told you about a few of the events coming up, and here's a few more. Midwest Brouhaha taking place May 31st to June 2nd in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, hosted by, you guessed it, Brewcity Bruisers. And Besterns are happening June 7th to 9th in Denver, Colorado. That's hosted by Rocky Mountain. And we are back to the game.
We have Evil X jamming against Havoc. Evil X quickly getting lead. Havoc is forcing her way through the pack, and she makes it out of her initial pass. One of the reasons that Antwerp has been so effective is that their blockers are so great at recycling forward. Every time that Brewcity's jammers think they're out of the pack, they're finally at the front, all of a sudden those blockers are in front of them all over again. And so they're getting through, but then getting sucked back in all over again.
It's a vortex that will not release them.
Yeah,
Yes.
soul crushing.
Yeah, that's never fun.
Yeah, you see that hope on the horizon, and then it's crushed.
Although, as a blocker, and I'm pretty sure you would agree with this, being the person who takes that away,
Oh, yeah,
it's a lot of fun.
that's a good feeling.
You're like, yes, yes, I've got you in my grips. But you know who's back out there? That's right, Sexual Innuendo in the grips of One Love's blockers, though getting some help from number 26. That would be Germs coming out of the box and allowing for a bit of offense. Lead for Sexual Innuendo.
And she goes for the apex jump. Beautiful jump, lands it, calls it, and of course the bench is going nuts.
Yes, not so casual. If anything, there was a beautiful landing on that. Let's take a look. There we have
Yeah, so much height on that. She went right over their legs.
And that's not the easiest task, especially when anyone has a hip or booty that goes over the line.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, definitely. Okay, number 85, that's Scully Wheeler. Back to the jammer line up against Evil X. Pack is up and running.
And Evil X manages to stay inside by bouncing on her toe stop. She is the lead jammer. Scully Wheeler being drawn to the back of the pack. And she's removed her star. We'll see if she's actually going to pass it or if this is just a stash. There haven't been a lot of star passes so far this bout, so I'm just going to assume that it's a trick. And it was. She kept her star. She's out on her initial.
Gotta love those diversionary tactics. Even though we know everybody uses a star stash,
Yeah.
it still takes focus away from that jammer, if
Absolutely.
only a little.
Yeah, now someone has to cover the pivot, and like when you're in the middle of all of that, it is really easy to lose sight of who has the star in their hands. There's a lot happening out there.
Yes, so many things.
And Pikazoom is up against Hip Shot.
We have a full crew on deck.
Pikazoom gathering up some speed.
At the front of the pack, we've got Hip Shot working it out, able to break through that last line of Brewcity defense. Lead for One Love. And Pikazoom working through that pack, still pushing it to turn 2, but cycled back by Cherry Mosh Pit.
And great toe stop work by Hip Shot, staying in the lines. And another fun fact, Pikazoom is actually a small electric mouse who loves chicken nuggets. This from the chat.
Although all the little Pikachus in there as well.
Yeah.
That was courtesy of Chad. Oh, I love it.
I love all the fun facts.
Small electric mouse. Well, I mean, with the way Pikazoom moves and keeps going and going and going, I get it.
Yeah.
And so,
Very appropriate
who
name.
knows, chicken nuggets at the half, providing that fuel.
Yeah.
And we saw One Love getting up and awaiting the official confirmation of our final score, which is 2-12 for Antwerp Roller Derby's One Love Roller Dolls versus Brewcity Bruisers All-Stars at 59. A hard-fought, edge-of-your-seat action-packed game. And 52 jams in that game. That does not always happen.
Yeah. That was a very quick-moving game in more ways than one.
Yes. Wow. Whoa.
Yeah. I mean, it was a lot of fun seeing one that's played slightly differently.
Most definitely. So excellent international matchup there. And more to come here at Siege of Central New York 2019. Stay tuned. Up next, we've got Burning River versus Jersey Shore at 5 p.m. Peace out. We'll see you soon.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. We really appreciate everybody who just kind of hung out and watched some Derby. Glad you could join us. We will be back in, I think it's going to be somewhere around, I don't know, like 20 minutes. It says 13 on the clock, but that has not been the case most of the day. Typically when we have, when we actually do come back, it's like 20 minutes. But if you just leave your browser here, you'll find the game comes on anyway. All right, thanks again. We'll be back. I will stop the stream for just a few moments, and I will see you all on the other side.